Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about somebody that failed you or went back on their word, didn't do what they had said, or maybe even threw you under the bus. For some of you, this could be a person who was just fine with you getting fired or just fine with you getting kicked out of a social community. They didn't regret it. They didn't feel bad, especially if they played a part in it, right? Maybe they wanted you to look like somebody that wasn't cool enough or good enough to be in that role or in that group. But with this Ace of Pumpkins or Ace of Pentacles, I feel like this is somebody who is kind of like, well, that's just how it is. Whatever. I don't feel bad. Maybe even a little bit arrogant, but they run into you after this mistreatment or, maybe even trying to get you ostracized. And they see that you're doing much better than they expected you to be doing. So maybe you've gotten promotions, maybe you started your own business, maybe you're in a really great relationship. There's something here about you being in a much better place than they expected. And now they're kind of like, oh, did I do something wrong? Let's call in spirit with a little bit of Winchester. I hope you're having a good day. Hello, Rachel. Hello, Keek and Choler. Hello, Ty. Hello, Delmas. Hello, how we doing? I hope you're having a good day. If you would like a personal reading, my email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. And it's in the description box below. And right below that, you can also find information on how to become a member of the channel. Thank you to the current members. You get extra shorts and videos and all that stuff, which is great. Actually, I think we're going to start with the Marigold Tarot. We've got a little bit of a Halloween vibe already with the Hocus Pocus cards. What else do we have? Well, yeah. Lack of loyalty. Queen of Pentacles or Queen of Rings in the reverse, and the Emperor in the reverse. I don't feel bad for throwing you under the bus. I don't feel bad for making it look like it was your fault. I don't feel bad for being a bad friend. I don't feel bad for spreading rumors about you. Whatever. Careless, not really concerned about others. It's fine because it worked out for me. That kind of Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Hello, Amanda. How are you doing? Oh, that's awesome. How's it going, Renee? Hello, Michael. How are you doing? Four of Swords and Temperance. Four of Cups and Seven of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so you were able to bounce back real quick. You're the kind of person who is much more adaptable than people expect you to be. So in other words, what I'm seeing is a cat with 9 lives. People toss you out the window and think you're going to perish, but you find a way to land on your feet and, flourish. I had to find something with an ISH at the end. It's too perfect. The number 4 might be important because we do have the Emperor in the reverse. That's the 4th card in terms of the major arcana, or number 4, because technically 0, Fool is number 1, if you follow. But we have 3 4s. Emperor, 4 of Swords, 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups is with the 7 of Swords in reverse. Now I feel like I was dumb for treating you the way that I did because I didn't think you would become important. Okay, I'm totally going to mess this up. Who was it? It might have been Michael B. Jordan was getting interviewed. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Was getting interviewed by a woman, and she tried to be all friendly and you should interview with me because we knew each other. And I think he just called her out on the spot. Yeah, you were really mean to me in high school. Something along those lines. This is somebody who's you're right. I was actually mean. I think something similar happened with Demi Lovato, except for she was the mean person. There's like this expectation that I can just like, hey, how's it going? Or I'm hoping I can just kind of like pretend that we're friends, but I never believed in you. I threw you under the bus. I caused you problems, and here you're doing better than me. So it's a little bit of, ugh, did I do that? Ugh, I probably should have been nicer to you. That kind of thing, right? Hello, Co-Create. What's going on? I'm doing well. Thank you, Michael. Hey, Carrie. How's your day going? Hello, Upper Echelon. What's up? Hello, Laura. How are you doing? We have the Hanged Man in the reverse and the Seven of Wands with the King of Rings or King of Pentacles. Yeah, you're able to recover from a lot of different situations. You're resourceful, you're determined, you don't give up easily, and people might expect you to give up easily, but you don't. Hanged Man in the reverse. Someone refused to see you for who you really were. It was much more convenient for them to, in their mind, decide who you are, and that's just it. They didn't want to admit that you're better than them. I kind of hesitate to say it that way. This is somebody who's very competitive, right? They wanted to prove to other people they are better than you. They are more successful than you. You aren't as popular as they are. They were competitive, but across multiple areas of your life. And now that there's some sort of like you're running into each other or people are talking about you, they look kind of dumb. They look kind of silly because they fired you or they threw you under the bus or they said you weren't what you are. And now you've basically proven, oh, hi, here's me. I'm exactly who I told you I was. And they have to kind of grapple with that, right? I don't know if that means they have to apologize. I don't know if that means they have to kind of like eat some humble pie around some friends or coworkers. Like, oh, I guess this person is actually pretty great. They have to make that decision. So we have the Devil, the Moon. That's so interesting. The Devil is clarifying Temperance. So Temperance would be the Earth Angel. You can see we've got wings. They might be bat wings, but they're wings nonetheless. Clarified by the Devil. To be honest, what I'm seeing is somebody who wanted attention and went about it the wrong way. They were very like me. And you end up being more successful because you actually care about other people. People can read that energy, you know, sometimes even without realizing, I don't know why I didn't like that person, but I just didn't. Or I don't know why I like this person so much, but I really do. It can affect how you buy furniture, carpet. It can affect how you date or who you choose for your friends, what job you end up working. There's multiple things that happened in your life that if you compare them to this other person's life, they are materially different because you have different intentions, because your energy is more loving or caring or interested in making things right. Perhaps you're more likely to volunteer or be charitable. And this other person's like, I'm only going to do it if it benefits me. I don't have time to do anything nice for somebody else. What are you talking about? Like, okay. Giving back is its own reward, right? Hello, Thor. I think you've earned a vacation. Hello, Lighthouse. How are you doing? Hello, KOD. Thank you for the clover. I'll assume that means I am extra lucky today. I hope you're having a good day. Let's see. We're gonna we'll go with the Black Tarot. See what else we've got. Say what? I don't know what you're saying, Thor. Just like the smiley energy. Three of Swords. Heartbreak. I thought if I betrayed you, I thought if you got fired, I thought if I spread rumors about you, I thought if I made you out to be, you know, some kind of fool or a little bit crazy, that, you know, people would believe it. I thought you would believe it. But Seven of Swords is in the reverse. Whatever they tried to convince people was true about you, people now are like, well, clearly that's not true. How do you explain this? Two of Swords in the reverse and the 10 of Wands in the reverse. So they're struggling because whatever decision they made, whatever comment they made, or however they treated you in the past, there are people who are asking them, like, didn't you say this? Why did you treat them like that? I thought you said it was their fault. I thought you said they couldn't do this. I thought you said they weren't skilled at that. They're freaking out because their campaign of jealousy or trying to compete with you or trying to say that they do something you do better, it's completely indefensible at this point. Nine of Swords, anxiety. I'm overwhelmed. I can't sleep. I don't know what to do because everybody knows that I lied, or everybody knows that I was wrong about this person. I'm going to call you Temperance. You've got Judgment. What had been decided before by a group of people, it's now the decision's changed. We thought you didn't know what you were talking about because this person over here said you didn't, but now we can tell you're actually pretty great. Hey, KOD, I'm going to ask you to not spam. Emojis are fun, but that's not really adding much to the conversation. Hey, Sean, how are you doing? Knight of Cups, Ace of Cups. This is someone who thought if you felt excluded, if you felt like you weren't accepted, if you felt like you had failed at one place or situation or within one community, that you wouldn't go elsewhere and try. But they were wrong. You were like, that's cool. I'll pack up my stuff and go where I'm welcomed and I will be just fine. Because what I have to do, I can do it where I need to. It doesn't have to be here. They expected you to not be able to recover or to not feel like you should continue to pursue what you were trying to pursue because they weren't supporting you. And you were like, here's the weird thing. I don't need you. I'll be just fine. I'll go over there, start my business over there, or work for that company, or be friends with those people because they actually want to be around you, right? Hello, Stephen. What's going on? Four of Spheres or the Four of Pentacles. Nine of Spheres or Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Devil. This is someone who expected you to be incapable of finding a new path or doing something on your own. Someone who felt they could withhold resources or opportunity from you, connections, because, again, they were threatened. Now I'm seeing, is it Gina Gershon and Elizabeth Berkley? Showgirls? You wanted to be the sexiest dancer, didn't you? And you are. This says you're better than this person. So many inappropriate jokes, so little time. You outdid this person, especially if you work in the same field, or especially if they were trying to claim that they are what you are. For some of you, this is a person who was literally copying your energy, trying to claim that they had the magic that you possess when they really don't. I swear, more people need to watch Multiplicity. This is the Egyptian Tarot. Hey, Vicky Tata. Hello, Becca. How are you doing? Hello, Tia. How's it going? Sean, I think they're making the popcorn right now. That'll help. Five of Pentacles in the reverse. Eight of Wands, and the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Now it looks like the person who rejected you is the person, or Temperance is the person who messed up, right? Your business would be doing better if you hadn't fired that person. You would be happier if you'd stayed in a relationship with that person. There's something here about like, how could you let that person go? Like, are you serious? You come back around, or, you know, people hear an update about you and it's like, wow, you really excelled. And they were hoping to hear that you had failed. Knight of Swords, Two of Wands, Page of Cups. There might be some whispers of people thinking that I guess I would call the King of Pentacles, the person who, well, no, I think actually that's your energy. The Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, Emperor in the reverse, is the person who made the mistake. Your Temperance. So this is a controlling energy, which is why I'm getting a lot of like boss vibes from the Emperor in the reverse. But this could also just be somebody who is like the mean girl, right? What was her name? Regina. I control my little group of friends, or like everything in, you know, the high school is decided based on whether or not I like it or whether or not I think it's cool. I like it. Hello, Laura. So this is somebody who's hearing that you did better than you were hoping, and people might be thinking that you are owed an apology from this person who didn't see your skills or tried to make it seem like you aren't who you say you are. They can't deny the truth now. Ace of Swords. It's quite clear that you are who you said you are. So maybe they didn't have regret at the beginning, but now we have the Five of Cups in the upright. It was in the reverse at the very beginning. Now they see they were wrong about you. Now it's clear for everyone that this person was wrong about you and that they made things difficult for you for no reason. Now they look like they were jealous. Ten of Wands in the reverse. How do I explain how I treated this person? Because people are wondering, like, why did you say what you said about this person? Why did you assume what you assumed? They can't defend it. And now it's like, okay, so basically you didn't want to work with that person, or you tried to make it difficult for that person because you were jealous, right? Are we going to admit the truth? Are you going to admit that you wish that you had actually like done right by that person? This makes me want to tell my favorite work story. I'll do so quickly. So I had become disillusioned with this particular retail job, in part because my boss was very self-aggrandizing, or very like, I'm so awesome. Like literally would tell me my idea was bad and then like a week later claim that it was his idea. Well, I wasn't the only one who felt like he was a piece of my coworker, basically the other assistant manager, didn't like this manager either. And when the manager made us come in for a real early meeting so that we could all like go around the circle and say something nice about somebody because we need to improve morale. Sure, it has nothing to do with the fact that you're a crappy boss. When it got around to my coworker, the other assistant manager, his nice thing to say about the manager of the store was, you know how to delegate. You're good at delegating. Never in my life have I heard something funnier. At least not in a business meeting. Okay, David, I know your real name, but I want to make sure, like privacy-wise, you're okay with me saying it. So I'm going to refer to you as David until you tell me it's okay to use your actual name. Yeah, Tiana, I know you've heard that story before. So we have Goddess of the Moon and third chakra, Archangel Shamuel. So this Goddess of the Moon, regardless of your gender, that's you, okay? Temperance indicates a balance, right? You have this ability to understand what needs to happen because you listen to your intuition. This person who's very focused on their ego, their reputation, being the best, being better than you, they don't follow their intuition. Angel of Strength. So this is fire energy, right? Temperance. And then we've got the Angel of Strength, which for me is like Leo energy. So Sagittarius and Leo. You're able to walk away from things and reinvent yourself. You don't want to be my friend? That's okay. That's your loss. You're going to miss out on all these great puns. True. So you're like, look, I am perfectly fine going elsewhere and going where I'm appreciated or doing my own thing. No skin off my ass, really. And you were right. Even if you didn't say that to that person, they know it's true now. This is like such a great revenge story because it's like you didn't do anything to hurt somebody. You just were your awesome self, unencumbered by their jealousy or competitive nature. That's why I say you don't really need to take revenge on anyone. Just be your best self, put all that energy into your goals and what you need to work on, and then it'll take care of itself. This person's jealous. They realize that you were able to make the right decision, probably because they were actually focusing on the wrong things. If they weren't still trying to mess with you, they found somebody else that they were jealous and competing with, which means they continue to waste their energy. That's so funny. So we have concern, number 33, and now we have 14, message of concern, but it's in the reverse. So it's like we have somebody who is upset, but they don't feel like they can say anything about it. And then we have marriage. Marriage can be a reference to a contract. It doesn't have to be romantic, but I feel like for some of you, this is a reference to both your being successful with regards to your career, but also having found a happy relationship. For others of you, this is somebody who's upset because their partner is very interested or intrigued or captivated by you. That competitive nature is putting at risk a relationship they have, or somebody's very interested in you that they want to be interested in them. This is a continuation of the competition this person has. And with Thief in the reverse, they know they can't take anything from you. They cannot compete with you. So that's probably a difficult realization for them. They don't really like that. They like to think that they're the best. Hello, Gumbo. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good day. Thank you, Rachel. This is the Masonic Tarot. Just a quick heads up that mallets align with the earth energy and gold with fire energy. So we have Sun in the reverse and King of Mallets in the reverse. Yeah, this very competitive person who felt quite assured that they were better than you or they were destined to be more successful than you. They were a better catch than you. This King of Mallets or King of Pentacles in the reverse is upset or feeling left behind because you have excelled. You have done better. You have built more, or you have more of a following. There's just this gap in terms of what they're known for or what people think about them and where you're at. Eight of Mallets or Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Five of Mallets or Five of Pentacles in the reverse. They didn't put in the work. They're so focused, again, they're so focused on how people see them that they're more about the competition than actually being about the work, right? So I used to be in sales, and I remember over and over again, different places where I worked, they would teach you the most successful salespeople are going to be well-versed on communicating their own strengths and not rely on putting down the competition as the only way to close a deal. You have to be able to differentiate what you have to offer. This person doesn't understand that concept. They're like, everybody sucks, therefore you should like me. Okay. Tell me about you and why you don't suck, because from here it kind of looks like you do. This is somebody who did not invest in themselves. 8 of Pentacles in the reverse means they're not a master. They're not approaching, like expert level on anything, because all they were doing was trying to make sure everybody else didn't get to that. So we have the Ace of Chalices or the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Swords in the reverse. If they were trying to say they had some skill, or this, especially if this is a creative situation, right? If this is about who is the better dancer, better musician, author, whatever, hands down, it's because the Temperance individual, whoever I'm reading for, you actually have a passion for what you're doing. You actually want to do right for the right reasons, or do well for the right reasons. This person over here was lying about their skills or lying about their passion for what they do. That's why with the 6 of Swords in the reverse, the King of Pentacles in the reverse, or the Emperor in the reverse, was not able to be as successful as you. This is karmic justice for how they viewed or judged you or treated you in the past. 6 of Cups in the reverse. And the 8 of Gold. So it's not even just that you achieved something before them or achieved something they can't achieve. It's that you have done multiple things that have been enviable, and they've remained kind of stuck, circling the same goals, not making any progress. That sounds awesome, Tiana. Yeah, there's definitely some karma being delivered here for this person to see you doing so well. But the 8 of Wands, for me, it's like, it's not just one thing. There's multiple things that you are able to share, or that people are talking about as far as what is going well for you. Maybe you look really great. Maybe some of you are in a healthy relationship. Maybe some of you are just like very content, able to do things that you enjoy. But we have the 4 of Cups, Page of Gold or Page of Wands in the reverse, the 4 of Chalices, and the High Priestess. They rejected or excluded somebody based on the wrong judgment, or they called it wrong, and now you're coming through as the High Priestess. I told you I was who I said I was, or I told you I knew what I was supposed to be doing with my time here. You know, like I know what I'm supposed to be working on. You really proved your point. It might have taken a while. This might have been, years in the works. For some of you, even decades. Hey, Michael. How's it going? Hey, Gumbo. If it's a yes/no question, that's fine. For a longer question, I would ask you to use my email address below in the description box. Hello, Aqua Beauty. How you doing, hun? Hello, Voyager. This is the Gold on the Norman, if I didn't already say that. What else do we have? Snake, number 7. And the Rider, number 1. So somebody's been trying to spread lies about you. Somebody wanted to keep you away from the group, or kind of like retain their leadership, right? But you threatened that because you were a more natural leader, or you were like, everybody liked you better. So they had to find a reason to chase you away. And as such, your return has people talking. People are like, hey, it kind of looks like you lied about this person. It kind of looks like you were maybe just jealous of them because they did well and they are apparently a great person. Why did you chase them out of town? Why did you force them to quit. Why did it work that way, right? So I think we have some frustrated individuals, either people that were your friends or coworkers, maybe even for some of you family members. This coffin card, though, is, I think, also about the reputation of the Emperor in the reverse, going from probably mediocre to bad. They had already caused some damage to their own reputation just by being themselves. Do you hate it when that happens? Actually, no, I don't, because that doesn't happen to me. Sorry. We have to get our chuckles where we can, okay? This person is frustrated that their reputation is accurate. It's like kind of beautiful, right? This person's mad because you're coming back to town, or people talking about you, or getting a clear understanding of who you are. It's kind of like the final example that they need to realize that this Emperor in the reverse is just like a big liar. That they can't be trusted, right? It's like, I can't fight this battle right now because people already don't really like me. And then you come around and people are like, man, really? You ruined this too? Come on. I'm looking to see if you ask a question. I will answer the question after you send, I don't know, a tip. Are you talking about hot dogs? Oh, hot days. I totally read that wrong. Excuse me. Oh, wow. Shocking, you guys. Look at what card I did. Jealousy. I am not shocked. I'm very jealous. I can barely stand it. They can't stand, in particular, that people like you. They do so much to try to make sure that they are the best. They don't realize that their efforts are futile because they're going for the wrong thing. They don't understand what people actually like or respond to. There's this lack of like genuine energy, lack of emotional connection. And it's like, if you're not going to be who you really are around people, they're not going to trust you. They're not going to look up to you. This person wants people to respect them or admire them for the wrong reasons. Congratulations, you have a bunch of money, or congratulations, I don't know, you have a really expensive car. That doesn't mean that I look up to you. At least not for me. I don't know, maybe for some people. But emotional intimacy is a struggle. And that's why there's a lack of emotional rapport, or people who actually feel like you can like be connected. I do have Cash App, but I can't check it while I'm on live stream, which is probably where it would make sense for you just to email me instead if you don't do the tipping on live. Super chat would work, but then just keep in mind YouTube takes a percentage of that. I think we need the Gypsy Oracle. I want to know more about this marriage card. Tell me more about the marriage card. Money. Message in the reverse. Priest. There could be someone who is like a common crush, or there could be just general reputation on the line. Business partnership could also be a reason. So keep in mind, this is a general reading. There's going to be different interpretations or applications, right? But there's somebody, like I was just saying, that's very focused on proving their worth based on, I have money, or I own this, or I have that, you know? It's like they don't understand because they don't have this like self-awareness or that ability to self-monitor. Oh, thank you, George. Or should I say Jorge? That's so funny. I don't know if I should say that. The story I told earlier about my coworker, I just have to because this is too like perfect. His actual name is George. He is not Latino, but he thought it was hilarious that I would call him Jorge. Yeah, if you do super chat, I would make it like $5. I just can't check Cash App. Then I would have to do the email thing. The best part about this set is that bookshelf, which was built by my grandfather. I feel like it just makes it, I don't know. It's perfect storage for tarot cards, but it's got that energy as well, you know? So we've got Scholar. So they're putting up as a reason why people should like them, look at all my money, even though they don't have it. This is so weird. So I don't know if they're like living in debt. They've purchased things that they can't actually afford, or, you know, things are fake. There's this fakeness that they present, right? But it goes up against wisdom that you offer. So you have the actual experience, or you have the actual understanding, the process, the tips. You know what you're talking about. This person's over here trying to say, yeah, well, you know, I have a really cool credit card. They can't really compete with you. Foe in the reverse. So there's an important person in the community whose opinion is shifting. It's not the Emperor in the reverse. Their opinion has like been kind of forcibly changed, right? Like you can't talk about this person anymore because it's clear to everybody that this is actually what's going on. And with this priest energy, we have respected like elder of the community or the family or of the business, somebody who's like, oh, okay, so like basically I was maybe siding with the wrong person back then. Maybe I should have been more honest with myself about what was going on with the Emperor in the reverse. Maybe I should have given more time to understanding the perspective of Temperance, whoever you are. This is the Crow Tarot. Thank you, Rachel. Let's see. So we've got Justice and the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. They had this karma waiting for them because they don't give back like you do. Remember I said something about you do some things are just about being good to other people. You want to help others know what they're doing or give advice where you can. The other person wanted to like be very transactional with things. They don't give without feeling like they'll get something back. That's why they're starting to lose this financial security. This could be somebody who previously was really doing well in terms of the money they had, but maybe they've spent it too much. So it's about trying to keep up appearances instead of actually being like flush with cash. Whereas you seem to be in a, like it's getting better for you, right? They're not so much getting better. So we have the Moon in the reverse. Magician. Yeah, so now we see that you were just trying to make somebody look bad because you wanted to be considered the best. You didn't have the best of intentions. You weren't being honest, or you tried to make somebody look bad because you were jealous. Knight of Wands in the reverse. So now we're realizing that maybe you're the person who shouldn't be a part of this community or this group. Maybe you're the person that we shouldn't be supporting your business, right? Maybe we should actually work with a competitor of yours. So we have a shift in opinion happening because now it's quite clear you've been trying to manipulate the situation, or you tried to make somebody look bad, when in reality, that person is a much better contributor to business, or a much better like pillar of the community than you were ever. Hello, Elise. How are you doing? Yes, exactly. So let's get a few from the Zodiac fortune telling cards. What else do we have? You have a mind of your own, use it. You are going to move to a new house. Do not give up hope. You have big ideas which you must carry out. Very good luck is in store for you. Remember I said you're like ascending, right? Things are getting better for you. Your advice is appreciated and you help others. That's something that has earned you good karma. Your willingness or even eagerness to help others be successful. You don't view it as, I need to be successful and nobody else can be successful, just me. You want to help other people as you do better. And that will serve you well. Let me just tell you, that's already paying off dividends for you. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Remember, you are amazing. Don't let people get you down and continue to help others around you. It is definitely paying off for you. So thank you for being charitable. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes, and I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.